There are places in-game we've never been, with creatures that can kill our light and lay waste to us, if they feel like it. Places we should never, ever go, but if we did, it could revitalise the entire game to be fresh and crazy, and force us to come up with new weapons and exotics to deal with these galaxy-level threats. We know nothing beyond the new 3-episode structure following the Final Shape DLC coming up in June. Nothing. We don't even know if we ever get any more expansions beyond this, but I do know there are some really damn interesting places hidden deep and dark within the universes of Destiny. In this video, I'll show you the potential of going to such places, like the Vex Homeworld, the worm-ridden water world of the Fundament, the Skyshock threat of the Aphelion, and the pocket universe millions of years old that still holds the rest of the Awoken peoples. I'm Neph, but let's start with the 9 entities we should never ever trust. Originating from the Corona Borealis supercluster, emissaries of the Nine, or as the Cabal refer to them, Iniad, are mysterious dark matter beings who watch over the balance of the universe and have always remained enigmatic. The emissary of the Nine claims that both deliberately seeking the Nine out and doing nothing may lead one to encounter them, as they are everywhere and nowhere. We could potentially explore their true nature and the influence they hold on the Destiny universe by deciphering puzzles, unraveling ancient prophecies, and gaining favour with the Nine. The Guardians could discover how they can create pocket dimensions so easily, and the true reasons for meddling in the affairs of the Sol system that they seem so invested in. We took the great flying wish dragons, the Ahamkara, off the board when we hunted them to extinction. But what we don't know is, what were the Ahamkara developing on Venus in collaboration with the Nine? Taken from the plate of the great hunt armor, Tekin Iln informed us that the Ahamkara were blasting and paving entire regions of Venus, he said. They wouldn't be so base, they're rewriting Venus. In fact, the Nine were driven into a frenzy when Oryx took the great Ahamkara Riven, indicating a relationship with the Ahamkara that we are yet to learn of. It could simply be the Nine were once again building corporeal forms for their dark matter selves, or something more sinister, but the book is left open. In the Dust Lore book entry, Blood, Zur says, and makes a sound like a cough. The blood is transformed, the wish is granted, the dust is commingled. In the histories of the Hive, we learn of the great gas giant of the Fundament, which lies wholly unexplored for us. The solid continents of the Fundament were the remains of other planets that had crashed into the gas giant. Its 52 moons were once home to an advanced cephalopod species that had been assisted in its growth by the Traveler but have since been mostly eradicated by waves of the Hive. We don't know what's left at the once refuge of the Krill after all this time. We don't know if the remaining worm gods are still left languishing deep in the oceans, or did they escape like Zol, using the Ascendant Realm as a way to traverse the universes? Are there remnants of the race of Leviathan still tucked away in the depths of its oceans, awaiting to rise? Mysteries abound. For a long time, the great worm gods had drawn in many species to it, in hopes of liberation, billions of years ago, leading to the creation of the Hive for the machinations of the Krill Sisters 3. With galaxies laid waste by Oryx and his living dreadnought, what still lays in wait in these galaxies? We know of Ammonites, Urgu, and other great civilizations brought to extinction by the Hive, but what survives at the ends of the universe hidden from us, gathering strength and resources? Senior narrative designer Nico Stevens gave more credence to the possibility of more Vex-related storylines beyond this saga. In an interview recently, he has been quoted saying, "If you're a collection of beings that can time travel and pop in on any timeline at any point, and you see 2 god behemoths boxing it out in front of you, and your goal is like, I want to be standing when these 2 are done, you're probably going to take a step back and be like, I'm gonna let them take each other out and we'll see what happens after that. We know the Vex are ancient, they're methodical, and we have only brushed the surface of these swarm intelligence creatures. In fact, most of the Vex we have encountered have been construction models. We've yet to fully encounter any true military force of the Vex. The Vex, a time-travelling robot race, have been a major threat. A new storyline could involve the discovery of a hidden Vex time vault, which allows the Guardians to travel through time and witness important events throughout the history of the universe. This could lead to unexpected alliances, twists, and potential to alter Destiny's actual timeline. The only thing impeding the progress of the Vex in the plans were the paracausal forces at play in this universe, which they cannot understand nor simulate. The Vex have no hope, no imagination, no drive, no fear. All they have is the pattern. Everything must fit. If it can be made to fit, good. If it can't, it gets cut away. From the Lost Guardian prateth. We have only heard of the existence of 082 Volantis, also known as the Forge Star. This blue hypergiant star system was colonized by the Vex, seemingly devoid of planets, which may have been dismantled to build the array of orbiting Vex, statite megastructures that are used to prolong the star's lifespan, and then harvesting the heavy elements formed in its heart for the great plans of the Vex. We know that the system was explored by Clovis Bray I, who had stolen a Vex from the Ishtar Collective, used it to build a gate on Europa, and led a team to the Forge Star system under the instructions of Clarity Control. There, his expedition researchers concluded that the stone of one of the megastructures was 13 billion years old, yet the star itself should not have been able to last this long, only to realise that the Vex had been artificially keeping it alive. It was here that Clovis Bray collected the Vex radiolaria, samples he would eventually use to create the alkahest needed to successfully create Exos. According to Sister Feora of the Cult of Osiris, the Vex may not be capable of time travel, as it is commonly understood. If they were, she claims, neither the Guardians nor any other obstacles to the Vex would still exist. But with the Traveller and the Witness story being resolved, we can see opportunities for this barrier to be lessened at the very least. We could see our Guardian travelling to the golden age of humanity following the Vex incursions in time, key points in our past being explored for the very first time, and key characters arriving in the game, like the Dark Dredgen and angry Exo, son of Rasputin, Lord Fellwinter, given life and flesh in the past. The lore is rich with these characters, and it would be fantastic to learn about these larger-than-life characters that exist mostly in lore entries. As yet, we don't know what will become of the entity known as the Traveller, but more interestingly, I think, will be the exploration of the origin of the orb in the sky. This could take us across the universe to discover the ancient species that built the hulking great machine of light. Reading the Traveller lore entry, everything changed when the Traveller arrived in Sol. It gave us gifts that transformed the Sol system and the nature of human life. Moreover, it ushered in the Golden Age, a renaissance of scientific and cultural achievement. Despite all the good it has done us, we still know nothing about the Traveller's origin, or the reason it gifted light bearers with paracausal powers. Unbeknownst to us, each of these miracles came at a price. Threats greater than we could have imagined or ever fathomed have found their way to our doorstep in pursuit of the Traveller. There's so much we don't know right now about the true origin of the Traveller, which I assume we will get some insight to with the advent of the final shape, but right now every possible avenue is open to explore. We know that many species, including the Witness, saw the paracausal entity as the god who handed their followers a gun without any guidance, allowing for the unfettered chaos to roam unchecked, and the possibility to lead even great civilizations to ruin. This mysterious orb that grants the Guardians their abilities harbours many secrets. The next saga could explore the origin of the Traveller, its true purpose, leading to a discovery that could change the fate of the entire universe. The Traveller is a conduit of the light, and is a terraforming entity that can bring life and power to whomever they deem worthy. But Who built the mechanics of light and imbued it with the mission many billions of years ago? Is there a lost civilization that set the Traveller on its mission, with an end goal in mind and a true purpose to be fulfilled? Why have we not heard from them? And what became of them? Have they turned into dust, or are they still languishing elsewhere? A pocket universe created by the battles of light and darkness, known as the Distributary, holds a wealth of unexplored potential. Time runs at a much quicker pace within this universe, where the Awoken abide by the rules of Marasov when it first sprang into existence. When Mara departed the Distributary, with tens of thousands, many stayed behind, and we know very little of the peoples and politics that exist currently with the Awoken that stayed behind, which includes Mara's mother Osana and her little ranch house. Best described in the Palingenesis 1 lore entry. There it is, the world of her rebirth, shining water blue and beautiful, wrapped like a gyroscope in its twin rings. World of laughing corsairs, world of breathless forest hunts, world of mountains flickering with pale Cherenkov fire, world of sweet berry-stained lips, and the mathematical insight, pure as the Rotem chime. She will never see it again. This departure caused great unrest and anger within this universe, and we have no idea how the situation has evolved over the many years that have passed, and what reception Mara, and even us Guardians, could receive had we to venture into this pocket oasis. From the lore entry MCXX, Athenium World X, which held in it the secrets of one of the most advanced predators in the system, the Aphelion, which had the power to devastate whole worlds in the blink of an eye. It's unclear whether this is the same species the Drifter found on an ice planet after hundreds of years outside the Sol system, spent searching for something greater than the light. Around the time of the Red War on Earth, Drifter and his shipmates encountered creatures that looked like they shared common ancestry and bioenergetics with the Hive. But there were no records then or since that I've ever seen of humanity's encounters with them. And the creature had a property the Hive did not have. It produced a field that repressed light, like a darkness zone, but contained to a gooey, vacuous form with no head. The mystery of the species still lingers. They were suspended in ancient monoliths and held an intelligence that cared little for Drifter and his crew, but some deep-seated malice seemed to exist, even if only momentarily. It would be fantastic to follow the story trail of these creatures and whether they really were the Aphelion that shimmered blinding blue light, that crawled and screamed, a scream that exploded in all directions. These are some of the possibilities that exist to explore in a universe post-Fallen Shape. Mysteries left unanswered and species hidden away in the depths of universes we have not even dreamed of. I, for one, look forward to new stories and cultures in the next chapter of Destiny's storytelling experience. So, what do you think will be the next step in the story of The Guardian? Please leave your thoughts in the comments, drop a like, and sub for more content on Destiny 2. I've been Neph, and see you next time, Guardian.